I just looking at Watford, like it's not like we always want to come down hard on them, but this is 2 seasons now, 2 league campaigns, and the games that they've won so far, none would be against teams that are going to be challenging for the All Ireland Championship, and none are, I mean, it's Laois, it's Offaly, and Antrim are the 3 wins that they've had, and Antrim are the only team that are operating the Liam MacCarthy this year. Last year was 1 win from 4 championship games, and good performance in spells against Limerick the first day out, even though we were kind of critical of some of the positioning of the players. Beat Tipperary in the last game, and won that game and on merit, and they were definitely the better team that day. But outside of that, I mean, at what stage? Like, that's 4 wins from 14 competitive outings, and we'll see them now how they go the first round against a Cork team that's moving pretty well in the Munster Championship. We won't see either of those teams between now and then because, of course, they're both finished with their league campaign. And I was just like, okay, we see them scoring 2-9 at the weekend. And some of the games I'm watching them, I'm like, they don't even look like scoring. They don't have enough players up the pitch. Desi Hutchinson started this game and scored 1-1. So that's a positive. They have talent coming through the Fitzgeralds, but I just thought their average scoreline this year in the league against the teams that are going to be in the Liam MacCarthy. I'm just going to leave out Offaly just for the sake of this. And I know you're an Offaly man, but they're not competing in the Liam Mac this year. Yeah. They've averaged 117 from their 4 games against the Liam MacCarthy teams, and they've conceded on average 120. It's just not enough. 120. When you look at that Limerick team putting up the equivalent to 30 points in a lot of games, it's just not going to get it done.
No, and routinely putting up 30 points. That's the thing. Like, not playing particularly well and not looking like they're going to get to 30 points, and then all of a sudden motoring there within 15 minutes near the end of the game. Like, I only saw the highlights of this game, but when you see 2-9, you're just like, you are taken aback. When you don't hit double digits of points, like 2-9 is not even a halftime tally in modern hurling. And obviously the caveat of conditions, and it's funny, we're talking about time of the year and we're only like a month away from championship realistically, but that sort of thing just won't cut the mustard. And Davy has put the pressure on himself now, where he just said, don't judge us on league, judge us on championship. And if the championship performances aren't up to scratch, like if they don't get that result, like so much hinges on that first result against Cork. It really, really does. From a Waterford point of view in particular, from a Cork point of view too. But if they're on the back foot without a win against, a fellow team, should we say, last year, it didn't get out of the top 3. That didn't make the top 3. Their games, theoretically anyway, are only going to get harder from then on in. So they need to get something out of that first game. And you would be a bit worried. You would be little bit worried now. I'd be the same as you. The times I've seen them, you are kind of wondering, yes, they're taking lots of shots. Are they high percentage shots? And I know Davey always goes back to say, we hit 20 wides or whatever. I wouldn't be shooting from 10 of those shots. And Limerick wouldn't shoot from 10 of those shots, as would plenty of other kind of marquee kind of teams. So I don't think they can just fall back on that. They're not getting themselves in those, how should we say, like those kind of gimme positions where you're 65 yards out and you're within the ball stopper width. Do you know what I mean? Where you should be scoring 9 times out of 10. They're not putting themselves in those types of areas of the pitch. They seem happy enough to shoot from distance. And yeah, I'd be kind of, I'm no clearer about where Waterford are now as I was before the league started. And to be fair, there's a few teams that are in that position. And like even the crowd in Walsh Park the other day, I think it was 2709. Like that's just for
2907.
Yes, yeah, okay. Thereabouts. It's still like Kilkenny coming to town, your nearest rivals coming to town. It doesn't look like the people are speaking with their feet at the minute. And that's they didn't have games in Walsh Park last year. They have them in Walsh Park this year. Will it be a big cauldron like it has been in the past? I probably have my doubts. I don't know if people are invested in the way Waterford are playing at the minute.